Ever wonder what the world's richest people do with their billions? While most of us are budgeting for groceries, billionaires are spending their fortunes on some of the most outrageous, mind-blowing things you could imagine. From buying private islands to building 10,000-year clocks, their purchases go beyond anything we can dream of. Today, we're diving into the 10 craziest things billionaires have done. In 2013, Australian billionaire Clive Palmer made headlines when he announced plans to build Titanic 2, a near-exact replica of the original Titanic, the famous ship that tragically sank in 1912. The project had a staggering price tag of $600 million. Palmer wanted to recreate as much of the ship's original design as possible, from the grand interiors to the iconic structure. However, this time, modern safety features were included, like enough lifeboats to ensure that everyone on board could be saved, something the original Titanic sadly lacked. Despite all the excitement, the project hit several delays. Titanic 2 was originally supposed to launch in 2016, but then it got pushed to 2018, leaving many wondering if the ship would ever sail. While Palmer sees the ship as a tribute to the lives lost in the Titanic disaster, others view it as an expensive and risky gamble. People are still split on whether Titanic 2 is a respectful homage or a massive waste of money. Either way, it's certainly one of the more unusual ways a billionaire has chosen to spend their fortune. Larry Ellison, one of the co-founders of Oracle, made a jaw-dropping decision in 2012 when he purchased 97% of Lanai, a small island in Hawaii. He spent a massive $300 million to own almost the entire island. And with a net worth of $203.3 billion, this was just another luxurious investment for him. But Ellison didn't just buy the land. He started transforming Lanai into his own private paradise. One of his major projects was building an airport on the island, making it easier for him and others to fly in and out, as well as connect to the rest of Hawaii. Lanai is home to around 3,000 residents, but Ellison's purchase turned it into something like his personal retreat. Some people admire what he's done with the island, while others feel uneasy about the idea of one man owning nearly all of it. Either way, Lanai has become one of the most unique billionaire investments out there, and Ellison's ownership continues to spark interest and debate. Billionaire hedge fund manager Stephen Cohen made headlines when he spent between $8 to $12 million on a very unusual piece of art. Created by the famous artist Damien Hirst, this artwork, called The Physical Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living *, features a giant tiger shark preserved in a tank filled with formaldehyde. It's definitely not your typical painting or sculpture. But here's where it gets even more bizarre. The shark started to decompose because the chemical used wasn't strong enough to fully preserve it. Rather than let it ruin his prized piece, Cohen went the extra mile and had the entire shark replaced. This shows just how far some billionaires are willing to go when it comes to collecting art. Cohen's determination to keep his creepy, one-of-a-kind artwork in top shape proves there's no limit to their passion or their money when it comes to indulging in extreme art collections. Sheikh Hamad, a member of Abu Dhabi's royal family, decided to leave a massive mark on the world, literally. He had his name carved into the sand of a private island he owns. The letters were huge, standing at over 3,000 feet high and stretching out for 2 miles long. They were so big that you could see them from space. But it wasn't just a simple carving in the sand. To make sure his name didn't disappear with the tide, Sheikh Hamad had the letters made into water-filled canals, making it a permanent part of the island's landscape. However, after a few years, something surprising happened. The sheikh decided to fill in the letters, erasing his name from the island and even from Google Earth. This costly decision left many people scratching their heads, wondering why he would reverse such a grand and expensive project. The Sultan of Brunei has one of the largest and most extravagant car collections in the world, owning around 5,000 luxury cars. His collection includes some of the most famous brands like Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and Rolls-Royces, but what really stands out is a gold-plated Rolls-Royce coated in 24-karat gold. What's even more surprising is that many of these cars have never even been driven. They are just sitting in storage, and due to the tropical climate, some are slowly decaying. Despite this, the collection is worth billions of dollars, showing the Sultan's extreme love for luxury and excess. The collection is so large that it's hard to imagine anyone could ever use all of these cars, making it one of the most over-the-top displays of wealth in the world. Former Prime Minister of Georgia, Bidzina Ivanishvili, has an unusual and expensive hobby, collecting century-old trees. He spent millions digging up massive, ancient trees, some of them weighing hundreds of tons, and transporting them to his private estate. One of the most remarkable examples is a 650-ton tulip tree, which had to be carefully shipped along the Black Sea coast. The process of moving these trees is incredibly complex, requiring a team of experts and lots of money. But for Ivanishvili, it's all worth it. He's created a private park filled with these ancient trees, making his estate unlike anything else. While many people find his obsession with old trees strange, it's clearly something he's deeply passionate about, and it's turned his property into a unique, living museum. Bill Gates, with his massive fortune of $106.2 billion, bought 25,000 acres of land in Arizona for $80 million. His big plan? To build a futuristic city called Belmont. But this isn't just any city. Belmont will be packed with the latest technology. It will feature high-speed digital networks, self-driving cars, and other cutting-edge innovations that will make daily life easier and more efficient. The city will be home to 80,000 residential units, along with commercial spaces, offices, and schools. Everything will be designed to work seamlessly with advanced tech, creating a city built for the future. Gates' vision for Belmont is to push the limits of what's possible in modern living, turning it into a true tech-driven utopia. This isn't just about building a city. It's about reimagining how we live and interact with technology. Gates is aiming to set a new standard for how future cities will be built, making Belmont an exciting project to watch. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon and one of the wealthiest people in the world, has put $42 million into a very unique project, a clock that's built to last 10,000 years. This is no ordinary clock. It's 500 feet tall and is being built inside a mountain in West Texas. What's even more fascinating is that it will be powered by solar energy, meaning it can keep time for thousands of years without anyone having to adjust it. Bezos says this clock represents long-term thinking. He wants it to serve as a reminder for future generations to think beyond today and consider what lies ahead. It's not just a clock to keep time, but a bold statement about how we should approach our future, thinking big, thinking far ahead. By funding this clock, Bezos is showing his love for projects that are meant to last. It's more than a timepiece. It's a legacy, a symbol of how the future can be shaped by what we do today. It's a powerful way of showing how billionaires are investing in things that will endure long after we're gone. Nicholas Berggruen, famously known as the homeless billionaire, chose an unusual way to live despite having a fortune of $2 billion. Instead of owning lavish estates, he decided to live in luxury hotels around the world. He sold his properties and preferred the freedom of moving between the most exclusive hotels, flying on his private jet from one to the next. His wandering, nomadic lifestyle became a topic of curiosity for many, as people questioned why someone so wealthy would give up the typical comforts of home. For years, Berggruen embraced this unique lifestyle, grabbing the media's attention. But his choice to finally settle down came only after he started a family, marking the end of his traveling ways. His story remains a fascinating example of how even the ultra-rich can live life on their own unconventional terms. In 2004, Prince Hans Adam II of Liechtenstein spent a staggering $36 million on a piece of furniture that you definitely won't find in IKEA. This wasn't just any ordinary cabinet. It's called the Badminton Cabinet, a stunning masterpiece from the 18th century. The cabinet is made of Florentine ebony and decorated with precious stones like lapis lazuli, agate, and amethyst quartz. It's a piece of art that's just as valuable as it looks. What makes this purchase even more fascinating is that the Badminton Cabinet was already famous for being the most expensive piece of furniture in the world. Back in 1990, it sold for $16.59 million, setting a record. But when Prince Hans Adam II bought it in 2004, he shattered that record again by paying more than double its previous price. Thanks for watching.